all been taught that our job as investors is to search for the investment, this sort of magical investment that is better than average. So if this is sort of the average investment, we've been taught our job is to search for this above average investment. Kind of scour the planet, read all the research reports, keep up on all the magazines and news programs, and try and find this best investment. In fact, we have a term for that in industry. It's called alpha, an investment that does better than average. Now, that's a well-intentioned search for this best investment. We think that's our job. But it turns out that in searching for this best investment, it leads to behavior that ends up costing us money. So as investors, we end up doing worse than the average investment. And this gap, I can only think of one thing that leads to this gap. There may be a small slice of this gap that's due to expenses inside or our costs of acquiring these investments. But most of it is due to our poor behavior. And so this gap between the average investment and the average investor return is called, this sketch is called Fear, Greed. It probably should be called Greed, Fear, but it's called Fear, Greed. And it's become, this is on the cover of the book, and it's become sort of iconic for me at least. And I remember the first time I started thinking about this. Now this sort of wave has been drawn by lots of people. But the first time I remember thinking about this was in 97, 98, 99. If you remember, we had this huge, and pretend like you don't know the rest of the story, but we had this huge technology bubble. And we were pouring money, like everybody, pouring money into large cap growth, mutual funds, technology stocks. Guess what? October, the 5th month, was the market low, right before we started another run. And then we repeated with emerging markets. And then we all became real estate investors in 2007, and now we're all buying gold. And the idea is, right, we should stop doing. Now, of course, we know Warren Buffett says the key to investing is to be fearful when everyone else is greedy, and greedy when everyone else is fearful. Part of the problem with personal finance, and one of the reasons we find ourselves making so many mistakes with our money, is that we're all sort of on this hunt. We think it should be as simple as math, right? 2 + 2 = 4. If you have the right calculator, you find the right spreadsheet, you can make the right decisions with money. And the reason that doesn't work is money's more complicated than that. And the reason money gets more complicated is often we're dealing with a whole set of emotions. I mean, if you think about your most important dreams, and your worst fears often are about freedom, security, and all of those translate into dollars. I mean, that's sort of where the rubber meets the road. I don't even know that it's possible to separate out the emotion that comes with our financial decisions.
Ritual unions got me in trouble again. I was wondering of a white dress and the mistress and the spirit holding my hand. Love's sinking in the sand. Petals falling on demand. My feet are running like the wind. I'm sorry, boy, that we sin. Love is not like they say. I lied, it's hard to make it stay. I drown my feelings in the sea, then dried out over on the beach. Ritual unions got me in trouble again. I was wondering how the white dress and the mist.
I've been taking pictures when I was very young, I think. I don't remember what age. I started by painting and drawing. And for me, photography was a mean of drawing, and that's all. Immediate sketch, done with intuition, and you can't correct it. If you have to correct it, it's the next picture. But life is very fluid. Well, sometimes the pictures disappear, and there's nothing you can do. You can't tell the person, oh, please smile again, do that gesture again. Life is once, forever. Say, I wait for the top pictures, for great pictures. Well, it's seldom you make a great picture. You have to milk the cow quite a lot and get plenty of milk to make a little cheese.